Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Wanted to check in. Been a long day for me. I'm in Atlanta. Just trained some life coaches today. But I saw a lady make a comment on my last video, and it said, it's not that hard to be faithful. Men act like they're some type of wild animals. And it made me laugh because I was like, wow. It's so funny to me, but it's not really funny. When you think about this thing, I want you to understand this. And what you got to understand, this is why I try to help women understand. Please listen to me when I tell you, we are different beings. You're not dealing with someone of your likeness. Like, a man is the complete opposite than you as a woman. Now, can a man be faithful? Yes. I've been with one woman. I'm going on 13 years of marriage. So more than a decade, I've been with one woman. And so I know a man can be faithful. Yes, a man can be faithful. But is it easy? I can't say that it is easy. I could say it's easy in the sense that I'm doing it. But I can't say that I've gotten to the point after 13 years of marriage that I don't see other women, that I don't recognize other women, that the devil still ain't in my ear. And it'll come in different ways. It may come and it may be like, oh, what about, cheating with that woman? Something new, something different, man. You ain't tired of the same woman? You gonna be with the same woman for the rest of your life? You mean tell me one woman, one type for the rest of your life? You in your 30s, how long you want to live? Till 90? So another 60 years? Another 55 years? You already been at it? 13 years? So you really one woman? After you've experienced all of this, you really gonna give that up? Like, that's what's going through your head. You still see women, you still see their beauty, you still see, everything. Unless you lose your eyesight, you still see. And you still tempted, you still tested. Sometimes the women will come to you and throw themselves at you, come on to you. So you gotta be strong enough to not only be the one to do the hunting, to go after a woman, but you also gotta be strong enough to turn down the women that come at you. And this is the thing what I want you to understand. I see women say it all the time. Oh, it's not that hard, and men act like it's so hard to be faithful. But let me ask you this. When have you been a man? When have you been a man? So yes, that right there, that statement that women say right there proves that women are naturally more faithful than men, and that it is easier for a woman to be faithful than it is for a man. And I know this and I've seen this because when I was in the world and I was chasing women and I was doing my thing, it was so many women that I approached and they would say, I got a boyfriend. I got a boyfriend. But I did not know any men that was turning down a woman, especially if the woman shot her shot. I did not know any men that would be like, I got a girl. Well, I lie. I'm lying. I met one guy. Who said, I don't cheat on my girl. I'm faithful to my girl. But he was going on dinner dates with other women. He was in the dorm room of other women. We were in college. So I don't know what he really did. Today, he's a pastor over a big church, over 1,500 members. So that speaks to the mindset, the track that he was on. He was a rare man. But that is not common, and that is not easy for every man. And so I want you to understand this. Because when you look at yourself as a woman and you look at your decency, you look at your human decency, and you think to yourself, this is how humans are. This is how people are. You have to understand that not everybody is you. You got to understand not every woman is going to be like you. So you definitely cannot expect a man to be like you. It's like with me in business, I operate with a certain heart. I operate with a certain heart. And I sometimes expect people to do business the way I do business, but they don't. They'll take everything they could get from me and won't look out for me, won't give me a deal, won't give me a discount, won't pay back in any way. Will take every single thing they can get. And you will think that it's, going to be mutual, and it's not. So to you ladies, I want you to understand. Listen to me. I want you to understand that when you dealing with a man, yes, you dealing with a wild beast. What I mean by that is you dealing with a creature that does not move and operate like you. And people think I'm being drastic, but you got to understand, we have a mind that we are called on as men to go to other parts of the world, look through a scope, and put a bullet through a stranger's head in the name of war, in the name of protecting your country. What you think them troops going to do over there right now? That's what. And guess what? Before we had guns that you can sit over here in this room and shoot 500 yards that way and kill somebody. Before men had guns, guess what? Men had to walk up on you with that blade, with that spear, with that sword, slice your head off, and watch all your guts, all your brains splatter. And in the name of war, grab your head that's been cut off your body, pick it up by your hair, hold it over the head, and let the blood drip down. Celebrate victory. See right there? That's too much. But see, women don't think about that. Women don't think about that you could be lying down with a man that blew another man's brains out when he was a gang member, that walked up on another man point blank period, and point blank range blew this man's brains out and watched his brains splatter out the other side of his head. I got 5 homeboys went to prison for murder. One of them doing a double life. And was an average we played basketball together. When I listen to what I'm telling you, but to the women who watching this, have you been a gang member? Have you been in the streets? Have you hustled? Have you had to kill somebody? Listen what I'm telling you. But this who you lying down with. I talked to a pastor. And the pastor said to me, let me tell you what the pastor said to me. And this was a man, let me see if I cut the air off. I don't know how loud it is. I talked to the pastor. Let me tell you what the pastor said to me. This Hotel Chronicles, I'm on the road. Let me tell you what this pastor said. The pastor said to me, he said, Tony, I've broken every commandment, and that includes murder. Why the man gonna lie to me? But I know it because I know shooters. I know shooters who walking around living everyday lives. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, when you dealing with a man, that's why I tell women, I'm a man, listen to me. I'm the only man. I am the only man in the world that's sharing this message right now. I'm the only one. And the reason why is because men know if that we tell the truth, it's exposing us. That's why no man telling this truth. Listen to what I'm telling you. I don't have a concealed weapon permit because I know I'll catch a body. I don't carry a gun because I know I'll lay somebody down. I know I cannot trust myself yet. I know I'm not there yet. I'm being honest with you. Listen to what I'm telling you. I tell women all the time. Don't leave. Do not leave your baby with a man. Do not leave your baby with a man. I done coached women who have been violated from the age of 2 to the age of 17 by their mama boyfriend. I done coached women who's been violated by the bishop, then the assistant pastor, who is the stepfather, then the deacon, who became the father of their child. That book is on Amazon, called Forgiving the Unforgivable. I'm in the trenches. I'm coaching these women who have suffered at the hands of men. And guess what? I'm not shocked and surprised because I'm a man. I know what go on. I'm dealing with these creatures. I'm dealing with these human beings that you trying to give the benefit of the doubt to. No, a man got to show and prove. In the court of law, you got to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. You got to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. So if that's in the court of law, how much more should that be expected in life? That someone proves themselves beyond a reasonable doubt. As good of a man is to my wife, she still don't put me on this high horse. She still look at me sideways. Like, she still is cautious about my interactions with women. She ain't just like, oh yeah, go over to your client house and do an in-house session. You know, she ain't still willy-nilly just because I'm a good man, just because of my purpose and my calling. She still know I'm a man. She still know I gotta set boundaries. She still know. So I'm in my hotel room. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you on a Saturday night. You know what I'm telling you? I tell women all the time, I say, listen, don't leave your child. And women don't be thinking because you think you know it all. When a man trying to tell you, I'm not saying you got to interrogate the man. I'm not saying you got to question the man. But you got to take your time with that man. Don't leave your child with a man. And it's not just about a sexual thing like him touching your child. It's also about him abusing your child, your baby, your child that can't speak. Oh yeah. That man thumping your baby all in the forehead and your baby ain't doing nothing but crying. That man letting your baby roll off the changing table. Guess what? I done seen it. I'm a man. Your baby crying, you leave him, and this is what women say. Oh, Tony, oh my goodness. I cannot believe you saying that. Because I know men who are way better with children than women. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe you're acting like these men are just some animal. Because my father is so good with children, with my children. He is amazing. That's because you sitting there watching him. He amazing. You don't know what your daddy or your boyfriend or your husband or your fiance or your brother doing to your child when you not there. Your baby who can't talk. And you ain't got no choice but to leave your child with that man because you got to go to work. And guess what? Your baby getting thumped in the head. Your baby getting dropped on the floor. Watch the news. These shaking baby syndrome, these men killing babies, they not all crazy. This an everyday man. They not all deranged. Listen to what I'm telling you. When that lady said that, men act like they're some kind of wild animal. Listen here. That's never what you dealing with. Let me tell you the truth. A man must be renewed by Christ. And this how you gonna judge it. If this man is not operating with the Spirit of Christ in his interactions with you, you can't trust nothing else about him. You can't trust nothing else about him. So what's some characteristics? What's some teachings from Christ? That you should not fornicate. From the Holy Bible, from the Christian lifestyle. That you should not fornicate. That you should not commit adultery. So if you dealing with a man and he's fornicating with you, you can't trust nothing else about him. If you dealing with a man and he's in adultery with you, he has not got a divorce papers. I don't care if he's separated. I don't care if he's been separated for 5-10 years. If he is not divorced, he's in adultery. If you're dealing with a man who is in fornication with you or who is in adultery with you, you can't trust nothing else about him. You can't trust nothing, just a rule of thumb. Yeah, he might be good in certain areas, but you can't trust nothing. A man must be renewed by Christ. And I'm not making concessions for no other religion, because I have not met a pure man of any other religion or agnostic or atheist, pure man inside and out. The only thing I've seen change a man inside and out is Jesus Christ. And you know how I know? Because I live by the teachings of Christ. I keep God near and dear. You hear me? But guess what? Even with that, I still struggle. Even with that, the devil's still in my head. Hey man, come on now, you in a whole nother city. Man, that woman don't know you. That woman don't know who Tony Gaskins is. Man, hey, just shoot your shot, man. You know you used to get them in one night, in one day. Man, just shoot your shot, man. Get your little rocks off, man. Get you something different. Man, your wife ain't even feeling good, man. She been sick last 2 weeks, man. You ain't even had you nothing. Man, come on, man. You out here doing all this. Man, you making money, man. You doing this. Look, that's all going through your head, and you got to fight that. Let me tell you another thing. That's why I see these women. That's why I'm trying to talk low because I'm in a hotel. And you know when you're in a hotel, the wall be paper thin. I be hearing people knocking the boots. You hear me? I be like, my goodness. Like, don't the hotel think about a soundproof wall or something? A little thick wall. So I'm trying to talk low. But let me tell you something about these men. I'm going to tell you now. And the men watching this, they gonna get mad at me because I'm telling the game. But look, I'm trying to set the captives free. And a lot of y'all women, you held captive mentally. And a lot of y'all men held captive mentally. I'm trying to set the captives free. That's what God told me. So let me tell you about a lot of these situations when you see these women who get cheated on. You see these women who get cheated on by these celebrity men. And then they get back with them and they give them another chance. I sit there and I say, okay, let me tell you this. When you catch a man cheating, he done already cheated on you 10 times. Because cheating's so easy. Right now I'm on this video with you. I could be cheating on my wife right now. I could be cheating on my wife right now, and she could think that I'm sleeping. She could think I done gone to bed. But because I done built up so much trust, she would never know if I cheated. Cheating is very easy. Now, I could go and chase a woman down and try to holler at her, but I also could just hire an escort. And that's what a lot of men do. I've never done that. I've never paid for that. That just is not in my makeup or my belief system, but that's what a lot of men do. You know why? Because I coach escorts as a life coach. When they get ready to change their life and become a real estate agent, become an author, become a minister, I coach escorts. Escorts have hired me. And I've seen the list of men. I've seen the list of men that you're watching on television. I've seen the list. And I can't ever speak names. I got to take that to my grave. But me and God and the man and the escorts know who it is. And so let me tell you something. Them women, they paid. One escort told me, she said, we paid to shut up. But she said the game done changed. She said the game done changed. She say now, my bottom bees, she say now my bottom bees is telling. They writing books. They writing tell-alls. They going to the blogs. She said the game and change. It ain't what it used to be. We used to be paid to shut up. Now we getting paid to talk. I say, my goodness. Several of them, 2 or 3 of them, told me the same thing. And when I see, let me help you understand this. A man can cheat on you several times and you never know it. You are none the wiser. You go to your grave not knowing that you were cheated on. Because it is not hard to cheat. It is not hard to cheat. So the only thing that keep a man faithful, and I tell my wife this, I've told my wife this, and she knows this. I say, baby, listen here. You ain't got to question me. You ain't got to be looking at my phone. You ain't got to be looking. She got all my passwords. She can look at anything she want to. Because I said, let me tell you this right here. I'm not faithful to you. I'm not faithful to you. I'm faithful to God. I'm faithful to God. Because what I understand is, what I need you to understand, is I'm faithful to God. So what this means is that my saving grace come from God, not my wife. My blessings and my favor come from God, not my wife. See, my wife don't have the ability to change one hair on my head. My wife don't have the ability to open up the heavens and pour out favor upon my life. My wife don't have the ability. She don't have the ability because she don't control that in the universe. Only God can do that. So I know where my help cometh from. I know where my favor cometh from. I know where my grace cometh from. I know where my blessings cometh from. So therefore I'm faithful to God, because see, right now my wife can't see me. Right now my phone on do not disturb and I'm shooting a video because she is in another city with my 2 sons in a hotel. I'm in a hotel, they in a hotel. My son got a soccer game. And we just got off the phone and she said, I'm finna go get ready for bed. So she getting ready for bed and I'm gonna do my phone on do not disturb so I can shoot this here video. So guess what? Right now my wife can't see me. But you know who can see me? The Almighty. The beginning and the end, Alpha and Omega. The beginning and the end. The everything. The Spirit. Not a white man with a long white beard sitting on a gold chair, but the Spirit of God is everywhere at all times. I know that. So I'm not going to play with God, because then I'm playing with my life. I'm playing with my purpose. I'm playing with my favor. Now, yeah, in my past, I made all the mistakes in the world. But God is forgiving God, and He'll, in the good book, say He'll throw your sins, He'll forget your sins and throw them into the sea of forgetfulness and remember them no more. You saved by grace through faith. So I've been forgiven. But when Jesus would heal people, and when He would forgive people, He would say, you've been forgiven, go and sin no more. He didn't say, you've been forgiven, go sin tomorrow and I'm going to forgive you again. Although we understand that now, we know that He didn't say that. He said, be perfect as my Father in heaven is perfect. Now listen to me now. Y'all don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that. So I tell my wife, I said, babe, I'm not faithful to you. I'm faithful to God. Because love can't keep a man faithful. Love can't keep a man faithful. That's what I'm telling you. And now it's men that's faithful. Now I done met men who faithful. Let me tell you, it ain't faithful because of love. It ain't faithful because of love. A lot of men faithful because they done hurt their woman so much, and they riding on their own strength. A lot of men faithful because they got erectile dysfunction. A lot of men faithful because they got a little third leg. A lot of men faithful because they ashamed of that member, and they don't want to have to keep reintroducing this and re-explaining why little Johnny is the size that little Johnny is. Let me help you understand this now. That's why a lot of men faithful. A lot of men faithful because they don't have no options. A lot of men faithful because they will have to pay, because it's not a woman checking for them for whatever, because a woman looking for a certain type of man that's being showed to her on the television screen. So she might not like his look might not be in style. Now I'm not saying he looks challenged. I'm not calling him a little ugly. I'm saying his looks might not be in style right now. Your look go in and out of style. But I know men who are faithful, but when I look at those men and I talk to those men, I come to the conclusion you faithful because you have no options. But you also do not have the money to pay $1,000 an hour. And that's what the top notch charge. The reason why I know because I done coached in that industry. And a lot of my male clients can't afford it. So I know about this stuff because I'm on that. I coach in that industry. And they don't want the $5, $10 because they're going to get a gift that keep on giving. So that relegates them to faithfulness by default, not by choice. When a man chooses to be faithful 100% long term, that man is also chosen to be faithful to God. However he called God, however he see God, whatever he mentioned him, whatever he named him. Me, it's Christianity, Jesus Christ. He may call it something else. God bless him. But that's why. It's not because of how good you are as a woman in that bedroom. It's not because of how good you look. Understand this. Beyonce had to turn lemons into lemonade. Beyonce had to turn lemons into lemonade. How in the world? How in the world? How in the world that you got a nose spread across your face and you got lips, soup coolers, you hear me, and you cheat on Beyonce? How in the world you got a woman who is the greatest artist to ever live, make $80 million a year, do not look bad any day of the week, don't look bad, you know, a good looking woman, and you cheat on Beyonce? What in the world going on? What in the world going on? How many times Halle Berry done been married or engaged? How many times Halle Berry? These is the people that women look up to as the standard of beauty, and they getting cheated on. What you think going on? What sense does it make for a man to have the entire world looking at him and he still cheats? These celebrity men. It's a documentary on Netflix about a celebrity man. Cheated on his wife. Cheated on his wife while she was pregnant. How? Why? This is what I'm trying to help you understand. That the things that men do are stupid. And it makes absolutely no sense. So you have to, before you get on your bike and open your legs, before you walk down the aisle, before you leave a man with your child, before you just relinquish all your power, this man needs to prove to you beyond a reasonable doubt that he has a covenant and a commitment to something that is bigger than you, that he knows God. He can't just be praising your beauty and your booty. Whether he licking it, slapping it, touching it, bumping it, popping it, flipping it, none of that matters if he does not have a relationship with the Most High. And I saw another lady say, this has been promoted throughout society that all a man needs is a good woman. I'm not a savior. We all need Jesus. I be seeing y'all comments. I say, you know, I can't argue with her, and I apologize if I said that. But I probably did, because you know why? Men worship women as if the woman was God. Men will listen to a woman before they listen to God. A man could be listening to God and get tripped up by a woman. What do you think David and Bathsheba was? David looked out the window. Bathsheba out there butt booking naked. And she out there in that water bathing. Now Bathsheba, you didn't know that David window was up there? Or no? She out there butt booted naked in that water bathing. David look out the window. He know God, the apple of God's own eye. I think this was David. Was this the same David that killed Goliath? Y'all look it up in the good book. Was this the same David that killed Goliath? Was this him? Tell me this one to David that God used to slay the giant. And then gonna tell the men, put Urias, Bathsheba's husband, put Urias on the front line of the war so he could be killed because I want his wife. Guess what? Every man today will do the same thing if he got the power to do it. If that was the way the laws and rules were set up, if he got the power to do it, he'll do it. It's happening. It's happening. Men go to prison. They got a good looking girlfriend. His closest friend trying to be there for her. Trying to be there for her. Because they know she hurt and she crying because he done beat on her and cheated on her. So they know she vulnerable. But this the right hand man. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about men. I'm playing football in college. I was doing my thing. I was cheating. Had a girlfriend. I'm cheating on her. She happened to be of a lighter hue. But I didn't have a choice because we were in a place that it was only 1% black. We was in West Virginia. So if you're going to date, you're going to have to date outside of your race. And so it was not really any that, so you dating around. And so I'm dating this young lady, and she had only seen 2 black men in her life. She told me. She lived in West Virginia. That's where we were, up in West Virginia, 1%. And it may be different today, but this was 2003. So 17 years ago. Let me tell you something. I'm doing my thing. Every other man was doing their thing. One of my teammates, another running back, hit her up. He knew I was out doing my thing, so he hit her up while I was out. She heard and she crying because she know I'm out doing my thing. And he went and touched her. After he touched her, he then passed to his friend. Him and his friend touched her. Then another one of my teammates, another running back, touched her. Then another running back touched her. 3 running backs, the cornerback, and one of the basketball players touched her. All 5 black men, my brothers, touched my girlfriend. Did not tell me. I found out because another guy from DC who was a little more lamer, as we would call it, kept trying to tell me and would be arguing with me. Man, you think your woman faithful? You think your woman faithful? And this is what he said to me one day. He said, man, if your woman faithful, I'll climb up there on the chapel and get on the top of that steeple and pull my pants down, poke my booty out, and let a man poke me in my booty if your woman faithful. That's what he said to me. That right there caught me. That hit me hard. I say, hold on now, bro. What do you know that I don't know? Because for you to just say what you just said, you must know something I don't know. I went and I put the woman, I sat her down in a chair. And I did the first 48 on her. I interrogated her for hours. Guess what? She admitted to 1, admitted to 2, admitted to 3, admitted to 4, admitted to 5. And one of the sessions, admitted to the train. I cried like a baby. But I deserved it. I deserved it because of what I was doing. But at the same time, these were my boys. These guys who we supposed to be cool. That's the nature of man. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. What y'all don't understand about men. This is what men know. That's why men don't really mess with me. But I got the answer to God. Because I'm trying to bring clarity. And I'm trying to level the playing field. God is what I'm trying to tell you, that this really don't have nothing to do with God. This have to do with human nature. When I say it don't have nothing to do with God, what I'm saying is that God ain't making us act the way we behave. We humans, that when we left to our own, we become reckless. So that's why in the good book, it says that you have to be, that when you have Christ, you are renewed and you become a new creature. That's why it's called being born again. Because left to your own, you become like the men of Sodom and Gomorrah. You hear what I'm telling you? Now, what I want you to understand is that the men of Sodom and Gomorrah were not robots. They were not, this special kind of human. It was a human with the same genetics that we have today. The men that you see on these Netflix documentaries, these serial killers, they got the same genetics that we have today. These are people from our time in the United States of America. These are men who have killed 100 women, 70 women. But yes, they went and killed women. But what's the difference between that man who killed 70 women and the man who was in the mob and killed 70 men? Point blank range. Killed 100 men. 200 men, 300 men in Chicago, in New York City, in Miami, in LA. It's men who have countless bodies to their name. What I want you to understand, that when you're dealing with a man, this deeper than thug passion. Just because you think you got a tough guy, and he rub your feet and he suck on your toes and he play in your hair and he do everything to you all through the nines and he flipping and tossing, just because he buy you diamond, that don't mean that he don't have an internal spiritual struggle, spiritual warfare going on. And for different men, it's at different levels. Because see, some men was raised so cold they don't know how to be warm. So what I want you to understand, for some men he's struggling and he battling with pornography. Some men he's struggling and he battling with the thug life, the gang life, murder, illegal activities, selling drugs, stealing, robbing, just simple assault and battery. Some men struggling with an affection for children. Yeah. What you think they talking about with the priests, with them priests? But see, the priests are highlighted, but it ain't just them priests. It ain't just your priests. It's some of your school teachers. It's some of your pastors. That's what I'm trying to help you understand. That as men, we gotta hold ourselves accountable, but at the same time, we need God. So this is what I need you to understand. When you say you want a man of God, you gotta know the scripture so that you know what a man of God looks like. Because you say you want a man of God and you think that just mean a man who's sitting in church on Sunday. What the saying say? Going to church don't make you no more of a Christian than sitting in a garage makes you a car. So if you don't read your Bible, then you don't know what a man of God looks like. If y'all knocking the boots, then you don't have them, and you not married, then you don't have a man of God. I hate to break it to you. Just because your man pray, just because your man could be praying and his prayers don't get past this roof. Because of the good book say God turn his face from you when you living in that willing sin. God will turn his face from you. That's why he flooded the earth. That's why he burnt down Sodom and Gomorrah. That's why you got to flee. He flee from you when you living in willing sin. Your prayers are in vain when you are not repenting, meaning turning away from it. The playoffs on right now. Lamar Jackson, them losing. So y'all forgive me. So I want you to understand, what is a man of God? This don't mean he perfect, but where is his weakness? What are his weaknesses? Is he getting better daily? Is he striving to be perfect as my Father in heaven is perfect? Y'all gotta forgive me. Voice a little weak. Long day. I had talked 7 hours a day. And so I want you to understand this. That you're not dealing with another woman. 40 minutes. Oh, Lord. So you need to take and you need to analyze this man. Oh, Lord, I forgot. You know what I was saying? When I see these women on TV, give a man another chance. And I was reading today, they were saying somebody, husband or boyfriend, husband has been allegedly caught cheating again. And he was like, can I not eat? Because he was out with some women. And when I see these women get cheated on and they get a man another chance, the man had a break baby. You know, the man had a break baby on her. These celebrities who they man had a break baby, or they man that cheated on them, and they give him another chance. And I say to myself, what has that man done to change? What has he done to change? Does your man know Jesus Christ? Does your man know God? Has your man consecrated his life? Is your man hanging around the same friends? Is your man drinking the same amount of alcohol? Is your man doing the same amount of drugs, smoking the same amount of weed, hanging out in the same spots, going to the same places, listening to the same music? Guess what? If your man, I heard something on my ceiling. If your man is doing everything the same, guess what? He gonna be able to go off his own strength for a period of time. Some men it's gonna be 6 months. Some men it's gonna be a year. I'm gonna tell you what I believe as a man who out here amongst men in the trenches. 2 years. 2 years. Now, if you okay with him self-pleasuring to the pictures of other women and you say, hey, that's not gonna cause another baby, that's not gonna, that's not real cheating, that's in the bathroom, at least he home. If that's what I got to live with, that's what I got to live with. If you okay with that, then that cheating man that you give, he already doing that. But I mean, physically touching another woman, if he have the ability and he's able and he has the options to touch another woman, especially like these celebrity men, 2 years is the max. 2 years is the max that a man can go off his own strength. And I'm not talking about one of these comment warriors who come in the comments to lie just for the sake of for some clout. 2 years is the max I give a man. If a man goes beyond that, I'm not saying it's impossible, but what I'm saying, if a man goes beyond that, he's 1 in 1,000, 1 in 10,000, 1 in 100,000, 1 in a million. 2 years. Because I'm a strong man. I'm a strong man when it comes to that. I lasted 2 years before I had to give everything to God. I was going off my own strength my first 2 years of marriage, and I was weak. Because I wasn't living with God. I wasn't praying. I wasn't reading my Bible. I know God. I was a Christian, but I wasn't connected. I had to give it all to God. I had to fall on my face. I had to surrender. This is what I'm telling you. If your man ain't surrendered, if the man you talking to, the man you with, the man you meet, if he ain't surrendered to God, you can't trust nothing about him. So, and to y'all ladies, I'm going to wrap this up. Understand this right here. You don't know men. You do not know men. You do not know men. You got to tread lightly. You got to be careful. I'm not saying that every man is not capable of being a good man. What I'm saying is you got to make sure he's putting in the work. You got to make sure that he has the character, he has the work ethic, he has the morals, the values, and the principles. Because if any of that is out of whack, everything in his life will be out of whack. If you got you a man that done cheated on you and you give him another chance, but this man still gets drunk, this man still gambling, this man still going to the club, this man still smoking weed, getting high, or doing other drugs to get high, if that's pills, if that's powder, shooting up, whatever it is, you gonna get cheated on again. You gonna get cheated on again. So when I see these men cheat again, and I see these women give this man another chance, and even to the men, when men come to me for coaching because they done cheated on their woman and she ready to go, I say to myself, I say to the man, I say, listen here, fella. I say, you mean to tell me that if you get another chance, you gonna be faithful for the rest of your life? And if so, how do you plan to do that? How do you plan to do that? You might be faithful for a year. You might be faithful for 2 years. But if you do not become a new creature, if you are not renewed in your mind, your heart, and your spirit, if you are not renewed, I'm talking about renewed something serious, you gonna cheat again because you are a man. You are a man. You natural. You a human. You flawed. So you gotta have the supernatural and the perfect and the almighty on your side. And you gotta be tapped in, locked in, all the way in, or you gonna sin again. In that way, we gonna sin regardless, because it's a sin just to lust on a woman. Just a lust on a woman. And I find myself, I have to pray, Lord Jesus, oh Lord, help me. Cause I see old, woman with old hips swinging, and I before I realize, oh Lord, help me. I'm being transparent when I'm being honest with you, and this is what I want you to understand. Look at what I'm doing. Look at what I do for a living. You hear me? Do you hear me? Listen to me. If I struggle with the amount of focus and purpose that I live with, when my entire calling is love and relationships, if I have to struggle, what do you think every other man has to deal with? And I know it because I'm talking to these men. I'm dealing with these men. I see men go on their own power for 6 months and be the perfect man and look perfect and then fall in the sheets and gotta start over. I see men go a year, go 2 years, fall in the sheets and gotta start over. So listen to me. If you got a man, keep him in prayer. I talked to my wife the other day, because that's my prayer partner. That's my best friend. I talked to my wife the other day. I say, baby, listen to me. Listen to me. You got to remember that I'm a man. You got to remember that it's a bullseye. That Satan got a bullseye on me. That he want me. So I need you to keep me in prayer. I need you to keep me lifted. Because I'm human. I'm not a God. I'm human. So pray for me. She looked at me and she was like, she was looking at me kind of crazy. And then later she was like, man, if you had to hear the conversations I got to hear, and then if I came to you with the conversation you come to me with, and then I had to be on the road traveling, man, what you would be thinking? And I was like, baby, well, you rather me just war in my spirit on my own, or be honest with you and tell you that the devil trying to set up and he trying to send every test that he possibly can, so that we could be joined together in prayer, and that you could be like, I say, what you want? And then she was like, you right. I want you to be open with me. I want you to be honest with me. And this is what I'm trying to tell y'all ladies, man. Listen. Stop shaming a man. Stop shaming men for their struggles. Stop shaming men because we struggle different than you. Stop shaming men because we sin different than you, and understand that we made different than you. So if you got a men in your life, your daddy, your brother, your cousin, your nephew, your husband, your boyfriend, pray for them. Pray for them, because that's in his mind to replenish the earth. That tick, that is just ticking. It's a ticking time bomb. It's so strong. And I keep telling y'all this and you're not wrapping your mind around it. It is so strong because if it was easily controlled, the world would cease to exist. If men did not desire women, then men would just focus on money and not lie down with a woman, so there would be no reproduction. Because money turns a man on so much. If some of y'all got a man and he worked more than he deal with you. He want to spend more time at work than he want to deal with you. And then he just wants you to be on your back for wham bam thank you ma'am. But he don't want to give you no quality time. He want to give all his time to a business called chasing money, and then come home and don't want to lather you up, don't want to oil you up, don't want to make love to your mind, just want you to get on your back and wham bam thank you ma'am. And then he want to go spend all the hours of the day. He want to spend 23 hours and 55 minutes chasing money, and then 5 minutes in the bed with you. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me you ain't seen it. Tell me you ain't seen it. So understand this. The love of money is almost just as strong. And when a man got a woman that's going to be a wham bam thank you ma'am, then the love of money becomes stronger than the desire for intercourse. But understand this. If it was easy to tame that desire for intercourse, then men would not sleep with women. Instead, men would just chase money. And then guess what? No children would be had. And we would all grow old and we would die. And the few men that make time to reproduce wouldn't be reproducing enough for the world to continue to exist. Now that sounds drastic, that sounds dramatic, but I want you to understand that's the reality. And that is why I believe why we was wired and constructed the way we are as men, that is so strong that a man is forever on that pursuit until he becomes renewed. So what I mean by this is when a man gets married, he has to go to have a union under God, a covenant under God. And what God does with that man's heart, if he allows God to do it, God hits the reset button and he is born again and he is renewed. So now it is okay, that was in you to be fruitful and replenish the earth as a single man. Now I'm flipping the switch on it, and I'm going to grant you the strength to turn that off so that you can love your one wife, replenish the earth with your one wife, and raise your children as a one-woman man. But a man has to be tapped in, locked in, and all in with his creator, because God created the man. So the only one who can renew the man, who can rewire the man, is the creator. So unless a man goes to his creator, that which was turned on in him, that which is innate in him, will destroy him. And that is why you must be renewed and become a new creature. Now I just said that 10 times because 9 times it went in one ear and out the other. So hopefully you get what I'm telling you. I told myself I would not do a video longer than an hour. Y'all forgive me, but I had to get this off my spirit tonight. I'm trained today, but the Lord told me you still got to show up today, because I committed to him. And I said in January I want to do a video every day of January to kick off 2020 the right way. and YouTube gonna become my full time. Not know it. I ain't gonna speak that, but I'm gonna be on YouTube because I wanna be here, so that cause see, guess what? People say, Tony, you need to have your own show. Listen to everything I just said to you in this here video. You think I can say that on my own show? If I could say that on my own show, somebody with a show would have already said it. It's Christians with TV shows. They can't say what I just said. They can't say what I just said because some of the people who own the network living like the people lived in Sodom and Gomorrah. They don't want you stepping on their toes on their network. So I say, guess what? Lord, but you know how much you get paid to have your own TV show? Dr. Phil paid $90 million a year. I say, Lord, I might not hit that, but bless me that I could feed my family sitting on this here YouTube giving the message that you told me to give. He said, hold my Bible. I got you. So that's why I'm here. And I say, because this way I could give an unadulterated word that I may not be able to give on the radio waves or the television stations. And so listen to what I just said. Understand and hear me out. I ain't trying to make no excuses. I'm trying to give you an explanation. I'm not making excuses. I'm not excusing behavior. I'm trying to explain the behavior so that you understand that when you're dealing with a man, you're dealing with a different creature. You got to be prayed up. You got to be read up. And you got to make sure that he is on what you own. That right path. That straight and narrow. And that he trying to get better. And if he ain't tapped in and locked in, you going to suffer at his hands for the rest of your life. Hey, this Tony Gaskin. Truth Too Real for TV. God bless you.